What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime and welcome back to another video. In today's video, guys, I am here to bring you all the weekly JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 episode review. In today's video, guys, we are covering episode 21, so let's get this started. So this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we get introduced to Kira. Kira, okay, the serial killer, which has been foreshadowed in the past few episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and actually was even foreshadowed in episode 1, as in the town of Moria, we knew that there seemed to be a string of murders actually happening around the town, and we find out, like, a few episodes ago that technically all the killings were done by Kira, which is this character which we were introduced a few episodes back. And in this episode, we get to see what type of character he is like. The episode showcases Kira, the serial killer. Long story short, this guy is a very creepy dude, and pretty much what ends up going on in this episode is that he ends up buying a sandwich, and while he is just, relaxing at the park, Shingechi apparently ends up missing his bag as well. If anybody doesn't know who I'm talking about the Doria looking guy. The dumb one. He is with Okuyasu and Josuke, and apparently his bag goes missing, and he's like, yo, where's my bag? Where's my sandwich? Did you guys take it? Where is it? And we then later see that he ends up going to where Kira is chilling at, and he automatically assumes that that must be his bag, so he picks up the bag and runs off with Okuyasu and Josuke, and Kira is like, oh shit, I'm about to be found out. If they open that bag up, they're gonna know that I'm a killer. Trying to get his severed hand back, his most precious item, from these group of, middle or high school students, and he knows that if he is to be found out, he is going to end up, being locked away, and might even put on the electric chair. So, pretty much that's what goes down in this episode of JoJo. Okay, so now with that out of the way, let's actually discuss on what Kira is like as a character. First off, right off the bat, Kira is a very bizarre, creepy, and believable character in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series, and why I say he is very believable is because of the fact, just due to the types of traits that serial killers have, it makes him a believable serial killer as well. We see that, he wants to live a secluded life. He wants to live a very quiet life. Most serial killers do. Will they still go about their daily activities to kill others? Yes. To gain their satisfaction? Of course. We see that he has a weird fetish for severed hands. I mean, there are certain serial killers out there who do have certain fetishes. Number 4, serial killers usually carry around a certain trophy, or even, hide a certain trophy in which they are ever located at. And the reason why they have these so-called trophies is to remember the great moments that they once had with that specific individual that they end up committing the murder to. And, like for example, if you have ever watched Dexter, okay, the TV show Dexter. Dexter is a serial killer, and how he goes about his victims, whenever he kills his victims, he ends up taking a drop of a blood sample from them, and then he ends up putting it with the rest of his collection. So, something like that. That's what I'm getting at here, and we see that, when it comes to the beginning scenes of this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where we see Kira, hiding the hand in his coat pocket and also in his lunch bag, and how he talks to it, he has a fondness for it. This is what serial killers do, in fact, act like. They are very awkward in nature, but on the, flip side, they can be very manipulative individuals who also look very normal in everyday society, which we see in this episode right here. So I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm really liking Kira's character, because not only is he a believable serial killer, but also he is probably one of the most realistic villains that we have had in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series. Now, Dio did start off as a pretty realistic villain. You know, he was just very sadistic, very corrupted, but he ended up being so corrupted that he wanted more power to, you know, overcome Jonathan Joestar, and this is where we see that he ends up becoming a vampire. And then in part 2, we also see that really, I guess, the main villains of that series were pretty much the Egyptian vampires, and yeah, I mean, that is pretty unrealistic in nature, but when it comes to, you know, Kira, while yes, he does have a stand, which we will talk about in a bit, he also resembles the qualities of everyday serial killers and is actually quite believable as a character. Now, as for what stand Kira could have, I'm not really sure, to be completely honest with you. I don't know what sort of stand he has. I mean, we did see a glimpse of it at the end of this episode when he was about to use it on Shingeki, or whatever how you pronounce his name, Dodoria. When he was about to use the stand on him, we see that it apparently had the ability to trap the opponent's movements, or even their own stand, because we did see that as the Doria was using Harvest, Kira ended up stopping Harvest within its tracks. I don't know what else this, you know, stand is capable of. I don't know how OP Kira could be, if that even is a possibility, because he did say that now that I have been found out, I'm going to have to kill you. So for all I know, maybe he can like punch, you know, Dodoria and fucking make him explode, and therefore, you know, no more Dodoria. So yeah, to be completely honest with you, I do not know what exactly is going to go down in the next episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I'm pretty sure that we will see what exactly Kira is capable of in the next episode of JoJo. Please do not leave any spoilers for you manga readers out there. I know for a fact that maybe you know what sort of stand user Kira is, but I'm going to want to see that for myself in the next episode of JoJo. So please do not spoil that for me, please. But yeah, when it comes to my first impressions of Kira's character, I'm liking him. I'm liking him. You know, he's just different. He is a unique villain in the JoJo series that we are really not used to seeing, because we are used to seeing, you know, these superhuman-like, you know, humans in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like Dio, who ends up starting off as a human, like I stated before, but ends up becoming like a vampire, and then, you know, the list goes on when it comes to the villains. But when it comes to Kira, while yes, he has a stand, he is technically just a human at that. He's just a serial killer. So, yeah, I think that about does it for this review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Hopefully this review wasn't too long, but I really wanted to give my overall thoughts and impressions on what I thought about the episode, and that's what I like doing. That's why I do these videos, so I can give you my overall thoughts on what I thought about the chapter, or the anime episode, or what have you. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you guys thought about this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. And, of course, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. It always helps out the channel. And if you want to stick up to date to my future content on my channel, hit that red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.